Mahlzeit! Have you ever had the problem that you just can't transport things properly on your bike? I have this problem, and since I moved out a few months ago, I have to ride my bike to the grocery store. I've looked on the internet to see what options are out there, but as I'm a broke student, I don't want to spend fucking 200 euros on a fancy box mount. So in this video I built a bracket for standardized boxes with quick release. But first you can see how I pinch my finger while cleaning up for the project. As my flat is just a little bit bigger than a dog basket, I have to move the sofa aside. To show you the complete process, I spared no effort and got my bike out of the basement. Yep, that's my bike. And yes, it looks like it's falling apart, but it will hold up. Trust me. Okay, one or two spots really don't look so good anymore, but a little bit of rust and bad brakes have never hurt anyone, right? While inspecting the carrier, I noticed that I have a hole in my sock. Unfortunately, balance is not my specialty. It must have killed the belt too. Anyway, the important thing for me is that you can still see my foot. I still have the sock, by the way. Never mind, let's go on with the video. The thing I thought about first was what my mount needed to be able to do. I came up with three things. The box must be inexpensive and in case it breaks, or I need more than one. It must be possible to get the box anywhere. A standardized box like a Eurobox is a good option here. I will tell you later why a Eurobox was a good idea. In addition, the box must be easy and quick to detach and attach. My idea is to use a mechanism like that of a door, preferably with a click sound. I don't want an actual door handle on my bike, I'll figure out a slightly cooler solution. Oh, and if I ever change my mind, the whole thing must be removable. So I sat down and got to work, with the most professional sketch you've ever seen. Basically, the plan is to bolt a Eurobox onto a board. Groundbreaking, I know. One side's got this kind of hook thingy, and the other side has, well, my fancy little mechanism. Patent pending. Now, for the mechanism, I want to use a spring, but not a metal one, because, you know, rust. So my genius idea, just to print it out of TPU. If we make it soft enough, TPU can actually bounce kinda like a metal spring. Science, or vibes mostly. Obviously, that spring needs a little cozy house around it, so boom, housing time. Then I did what any normal person would do. I took a bunch of random measurements of the bike, the rack, the Eurobox, just to pretend like I knew what I was doing. And then I jumped straight into Fusion, started designing stuff, eyeballed a few dimensions, told myself, yeah, that looks like it will work. Classic engineering. Then I hopped on AliExpress and grabbed the screws and heatset inserts I needed. You know, the essentials. After that I took a nice core moment to admire my model. Not gonna lie, it's looking pretty sweet, right? After that I just threw all the models into Cura, hit slice and fired up the Anycubic like it owed me money. I got this thing for 80 bucks from a buddy, solid deal, and to speed things up a bit I figured I would throw in a 0.6mm nozzle because bigger hole, faster go, right? Naturally, it took way longer than expected. I also burned my finger in the process. But hey, eventually the filament came out just fine. And honestly, it came out a lot. Like this thing was spit in plastic. Yeah, I'm exaggerating again. Popped the SD card in, hit print and boom, we're off. And yes, I even recorded a time-lapse for you, because I care. Next morning, after I came from the gym like a real man, I quickly realized the print had some serious stringing issues. Like, this thing looked like a spaghetti monster. I figured I would just clean it up with a box cutter, like as a responsible adult, but yeah, that didn't go so well. It didn't look too bad at first glance, but then I noticed I forgot to cut two holes into the model. You know, the ones for the heatset's insert. Yeah, completely missing. Also, the whole thing didn't really fit properly, so I quickly decided, screw it, I'm reprinting the whole thing. Especially after realizing there was some warping going on. I don't know if you can see it here, but with a ruler, yeah, it's totally messed up. Trash. This is the piece of wood where I want to mount everything. At least that turned out fine. The mechanism was also alright and the box actually fit underneath it, so a tiny win, but I was still super annoyed. I tweaked the model in Fusion, printed it again, this time with a different filament. Switched from PTG to PLA because, I don't know, maybe that could work. Spoiler, it didn't. If you know why, seriously, let me know in the comments. I would love to know why I just manufactured a bunch of useless trash. But then, my boss came in clutch and bought a BambuLab. BambuLab, if you're watching this, hit me up, I'm totally open for sponsorship. Anyway, the print came out insanely clean, like chef's kiss. Everything fit perfectly. The screws went in like butter. And so I sat down and started putting in the heatset inserts. Or soldered them in, is that the right word? Whatever, I just took my time and melted them into place. And it actually worked. First time doing this, by the way. Usually I just send screws directly into the plastic and pray. This time though, proper technique. I put everything together and it all just fit. I was honestly shocked. After all that hassle, it was such a relief that it finally worked. Used some stainless steel screws too, very important. This whole thing is going outside, might even get rained on, so no rust allowed. And here, ladies and gentlemen, the mechanism in action. I was so pumped it actually worked, look at that. I mounted it temporarily to the wood and there's the hook I printed. Didn't talk about it much cause it's really just a hook. I screwed it into the wood and yeah, it already looks a bit battle worn. I was so hyped I jumped straight into mounting the mechanism to the wood. First step, mark both sides with a pen so I would know where to drill. I stole the drill and tools from my grandpa's workshop. The clamp was a must so the thing wouldn't slide while I drilled. Not that it helped, still managed to drill completely crooked. Did the other side too, also super wonky. Precision, never heard of it. Then I screwed the mechanism into the wood from both sides, nice and solid. Worked out pretty well, everything is straight. And check this out. Me with a drill like I've done nothing else my whole life. Totally pro vibes. Alright, moment of truth. Does it fit? Yes. Yes it does. Just listen to that sound, so satisfying. It's solid, no wobble and super easy to release again. Exactly how I imagined it. That click, music to my ears and yeah, it pops off like a dream. I really wasn't feeling that wood color, so I decided to take everything apart and paint it black, because black just looks cooler. I used some random metal paint, not really meant for wood, but hey, it worked surprisingly well. It was cheap, it was there, I bought it. No regrets. After my extremely professional and not at all improvised paint job, I screwed everything back into place, mechanism included. And honestly, it already looks way better than before. The black gives it a nice clean look, totally worth it. Last step, mounting it to the bike. I went with zip ties because they are quick, they hold well, and if I change my mind, snip snip, they are gone. To make the test as realistic as possible, I did the most German thing I could think of. I used beer. I hopped on the bike, took off, and no issues at all. The box stayed super solid on the rack, even held up during some very scientific wheelie tests. Okay, there was one small problem. My leg didn't really clear this part. Apparently I'm not as flexible as I thought. Taking off the box and putting it back on was super smooth. Honestly, I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's even girlfriend approved, so you know it's legit. Honestly, for a first prototype I think it turned out pretty great, but hey, if you have any ideas to improve it, drop them in the comments, and while you are at it, let me know what I could improve in my videos too. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, maybe even subscribe if you are feeling wild. And I'll see you in the next one. Tschüss!